Welcome back, everybody, to Man Plays with Cable.
I figured out the Focusrite thing, so, winning.
Hey, you got your mic working. Kind of forgot about that yesterday.
Yeah. I spent about 2 hours on this yesterday, Brad. I tested it with two different other computers, and I figured it out. But, yeah, I will say it was not my fault. Focusrite gave me the wrong software. Which I duplicated on other computers. Like when I put in this exact model number, it gave me the software for like a different version of the devices, and I Googled it, and they were like, "Oh no, you need this one." I was like, "Oh, thanks for offering me that from your website, you idiots."
I feel like the word duplicate is a generational term. Like I don't use the word duplicate. That feels like a very fax machine, copy machine sort of.
Okay, how would you say it? Replicate.
Copied. Copied. I don't know.
Copied. Okay.
Because to me, duplicate reminds me of my dad, where he bought some expensive VCR thing. They would copy from one tape to the other to back it up.
Dude, you're lucky I don't use the term mimeographed. Wow. I used to use this thing in the very early days of grade school when it was, then was ancient technology, the type of thing where you have goes over a roller and you peel off the thing and it's got it transfers ink somehow. So. Well, this is steam engine level technology, Brad. If
you want to get into the modern electric age, you can listen to this message from our sponsor.
Is your Active Directory vulnerable to cyber attacks? Active Directory is the #1 attack vector involved in 9 out of 10 attacks. Because of legacy Active Directory misconfigurations, it is a prime target for cyber criminals. To find and fix AD security vulnerabilities, you need Purple Knight, a free community Active Directory vulnerability assessment tool that is used by thousands of organizations to scan for indicators of exposure and compromise. Purple Knight provides a vulnerability assessment report and prioritizes recommendation guidance so you can quickly find and fix legacy misconfigurations that leave your core identity system open to attackers. You can also use Purple Knight to scan for vulnerabilities in Azure Active Directory, which is notoriously tricky to secure. Stop worrying about security gaps and download Purple Knight today to find out where the problem is and how to fix it. You can find links to Purple Knight in the description of this podcast.
So, I've read the story coming from I believe it was the Wall Street Journal. Mm-hmm. They're saying that Copilot, specifically on GitHub, I believe, loses an average of $20 per user per month. That is
a lot of money.
That's a lot of money for that. And they've got a lot of users.
This is the problem. So this is tied to why they are charging how much more per month per user for Microsoft 365 Copilot?
It's like 30 or something like that. Yeah.
It's $20 more per month, right? Yeah. And Google is doing the same for Do It AI for workspace customers. So it seems like this is maybe the break-even point, or at least the point where it's an acceptable loss. And this is why Microsoft is racing to make chipsets of its own, both for the data, well, mostly for the data center, but I'm sure they're doing something with whoever on this client as well. And all the PC makers are doing it. All the phone makers are doing it. Someone asked this question, I think, in a comment. And it was weird to me. I'd never thought of this, but NVIDIA this past year has become one of the top 5 companies in big tech by revenue. Mm-hmm. Their rise to fame is a sort of a weird matter of circumstance, right? It just so happens that these graphical or processors are good for AI, but AI specific chipsets are probably going to be a lot better. So there's a real possibility, like they might just kind of come and go, right? They probably have enough customers now and I'm sure they're working on AI specific chipsets too, right? That not just GPUs, but it is kind of a weird deal. Like we're in this interim spot now where NVIDIA is, humongous.
Because really grown up. That is.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because that thing, if all you do is make GPUs for gamers on PCs, I mean, it's a business. It's not anything like this business is now, though. Oh my God. Yeah. It'd be like Google without the ads. Like, yeah, there's a business there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, good for them. We'll see. To your point, how long can they stay on top? They might, and maybe it's perpetual. Who knows? Maybe they always just are the best of the best.
They could ride it. Yep, that's true.
If Microsoft, to say this sort of jokingly, sort of dead serious. Microsoft doesn't have a great history of building chips and their own custom hardware. And so, like, I'm not seeing Microsoft building an AI chip and, like, superseding what NVIDIA does by any means.
Or what Intel or AMD does or whatever. Yeah. I mean, I suspect it's really probably in partnership with those guys. Although they do, they've done their Azure Sphere chipset thing and they've done some stuff. I mean, you can buy your way into excellence, right? Hire the right people.
Yeah.
I don't know. No one does. I mean, we'll see.
We will see. That's, I don't know.
It's possible.
Yeah, I guess maybe as early as next month we will find out if their AI chip is whatever.
At Ignite. Yeah, that's right. Yep.
So, the other non-shocking thing to come out is that Activision tweeted out or just put out into the universe. They're like, look, we are working to close this deal as fast as possible. We're not putting Call of Duty on Game Pass, which...
Oh, in case anyone... I mean, I wonder if they saw something in the sales, like, we're down a bit. Maybe if people are thinking... That's what's going to happen. I'm just going to wait for that.
Maybe that's a very real thing.
Yep. Yeah, and this is an issue Microsoft's going to deal with. We've talked about this. I mean, how do you handle? I mean, they've done it for their own first-party games so far, but I mean, I know Halo's big in some way, Forza's big in some way, but I don't know. Compared to Call of Duty, like that's a that's a tough decision, right? Yep. I mean, we'll see. Yeah. I think most Xbox Game Pass people would kind of understand whatever the decision is, a 6-month thing. Maybe you wait and then it gets there later.
Maybe.
But then what happens if people just wait? They're like, I don't have to play this now.
Or they do what they did with Starfield, where they make it available on day one on Game Pass. But if you pay for that premium version, you get it about 5 days earlier, and you get an extra $30 out of people.
Speaking of which, I turned on my Xbox for the first time since the beginning of March the other day, and I've not played a game on it yet, but I updated it, right? As you might imagine, there was a lot of updating, and I did end up pre-ordering the new Call of Duty because I want to see I need to see these maps. This was arguably the high point for the series, so modern versions of those maps is very interesting to me, and we'll see.
Well, you'll have to let me know how it is because my poorly timed vacation, which is turning out to be a terribly timed vacation because Call of Duty's coming out. It's supposed to rain. Beta. There's like a hurricane, tropical storm hitting while we're flying through. It's just going to be a great time to have an outdoor vacation.
Oh, well, speaking of timing, I got my ship notification from my Google Pixel, which will or will not arrive before I fly off to Mexico on Friday. So
yeah,
our nephew's coming over today. He's going to stay here while we're gone and take care of the cats, whatever. And we're going to have a little conversation about some of the things you will or will not be doing for me, which include one thing he will be doing for me, I bet, is they've also sent the box they send so I can return my trade-in.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to arrive. I think that one's definitely going to be late. They sent that one it was like 3 to 5 business days. I was like, oh, that's not going to make it. But I'll get that thing ready and be like, look, you're probably going to have to do this. Yeah. But there's a good chance if that thing doesn't arrive Thursday, we're leaving the house on Friday at 1.
Ooh.
That's not when that stuff comes.
No,
it comes late. So he's going to have to be here because he's going to have to sign for it or accept it in person or whatever. So if it doesn't arrive Thursday, I'm going to need 2 big requests for him. And then I've sort of considered, should I ask him just to ship it to me?
Get like a prepaid envelope ready to go.
But you know what? I think I'm just not going to do that. If I don't get it, I'll write my review of the iPhone. I'm using that. That will give me enough time, and I'll have to do it late. There's nothing I can do, but it's okay. This is like I don't know. I don't know what to do. There's nothing else I can do, right? I'm a victim of timing.
Or poor choices.
Yes, exactly.